I'm going to be very transparent with my soul and with what I am feeling in my soul. And it pertains to my previous former relationship with Jesus. Let me ask you this question. When you bring your burdens to Jesus, do the burdens ever change, or do you keep coming with the same burden again and again to receive temporary reprieve and comfort from Jesus? It's an honest and sincere question, because looking back on my own life, it seemed like I was forever having the same conversations with Jesus, asking for the same help and for the same solutions to the same problems, which were never permanently resolved. But I did receive temporary relief because I could share my burden with Jesus at any given time. But my conversations pretty much were the same over and over, because my heart remained in the same condition. And why did my heart remain in the same condition? Well, this is what I have come to experience now, which made the difference in my life. Instead of going and talking to Jesus, or talking to God in the sense of Jesus, of this comforter, I should have gone to talk to my own soul and my own inner child, because most of our issues, the recurring issues, are happening because our inner child remains unacknowledged and invalidated. And it's from the unhappy inner child, or the soul as I like to call it, that our troubles, our distress gets generated. And then on a conscious level, from the mind level, we will go and speak with God. And I don't know about you, but in those conversations with Jesus, I never got to the bottom of what was generating my discontent, my troubles, my worries, my fears. And somehow Jesus never pointed me there. He just kept encouraging me with his love, but he never clearly revealed or pointed at the root problem that kept me going to Jesus again and again and again with the same issues. And so it wasn't until I had my awakening that my soul finally woke up and I became acutely aware to my trauma in the subconscious, the trauma wounds and the subconscious programming that developed around those wounds and created a extremely damaged and poor self-image. And my troubles that I continued to carry to God and to bear my soul to God, and I'm now talking about God as another entity. I'm not talking in the oneness sense, but I'm talking in duality. And so as I tried to unburden myself to God, but I was never shown the root cause of my trouble, I was in this pattern of talking to God and never really getting a solution. Because the solution is grounded and based in oneness. And what do I mean by oneness? By oneness, I mean the conscious awareness that I am actually the essence of God. And instead of thinking myself as a separate creation from God, and that I would have to talk to God, I suddenly became aware that I am the essence of God. I am that I am. And as those words floated through my awareness space, I suddenly realized that the consciousness from which I was praying to God actually was God. And there was a merger, there was a union in my perception, where I no longer had to communicate with God, but realizing that my essence was the essence of God and that it was all within me, I then recognized and realized that I need to turn within me and address my wounds and have a conversation with my wounded soul. And that is when my life changed. That is when my issues of a beggarly identity changed. Because I went from the beggarly, poor self-awareness to the God essence awareness of the I am that I am. And that closed any gap or distance or separation that existed previously between me and Holy God. In my mind, these were not the same. I certainly was not Holy God, and that reflected on my beggarly self-image. And from that beggarly self-image, I could only produce emotional and spiritual poverty. Only when my self-image changed through the epiphany or the aha moment that I am that I am, which is the name of God, that everything changed and my consciousness jumped an octave into a different timeline, and the poverty that is experienced because of separation in the mind, it just ceased to be. And my life has become better and better every day as I become more and more aware of my true origin, that I am not the created substance, but that I am the creator that has manifested itself as the person that is known as Renegade.